Hello, Shalom. Welcome to part 162 of the Daily Bread. We'll be reading from the books Deuteronomy chapter 21, Isaiah chapter 22, Psalms 10, Proverbs 11, 1 Corinthians 15. We'll be in the book of scriptures, 2009 version, Deuteronomy chapter 21 on page 208. When anyone is found slain, lying in the field in the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you to possess, and it is not known who struck him, then your elders and your judges shall go out, and they shall measure the distance from the slain man to the cities round about. And it shall be that the elders of the city nearest to the slain man shall take a heifer which has not been worked, and which has not pulled with a yoke. And the elders of that city shall bring the heifer down to a wadi with flowing water, which is neither plowed nor sowed. And they shall break the heifer's neck there in the wadi. And the priests, the sons of Levi, shall come near, for Yahweh your Elohim has chosen them to serve him and to bless in the name of Yahweh. And by their mouth every strife and every stroke is tried. And let all the elders of that city nearest to the slain man wash their hands over the heifer whose neck was broken in the wadi. And they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood, nor have our eyes seen it. O Yahweh, forgive your people Israel, whom you have ransomed, and do not allow innocent blood in the midst of your people Israel. And the blood guilt shall be pardoned from them to them. Thus you purge the guilt of innocent blood from your midst when you do what is right in the eyes of Yahweh. When you go out to fight against your enemies, and Yahweh your Elohim shall give them into your hand, and you shall take them captive, and shall see among the captives a woman fair of form, and shall delight in her, and take her for your wife. Then you shall bring her to your home, to your house, and she shall shave her head, and trim her nails, and put aside the mantle of her captivity, and shall dwell in your house, and mourn her father and her mother a month of days. And after that you shall go into her, and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. And it shall be, if you are not pleased with her, then you shall let her go at her desire. But you do not sell her at all for silver. Do not treat her harshly, since you have humbled her. When a man has two wives, one loved and the other unloved, and they have borne him children, both the loved and the unloved, and the firstborn son is of her who is unloved, then it shall be on the day he makes his sons to inherit his possessions, he is not allowed to treat the son of the beloved wife as the firstborn in the face of the son of the unloved, who is truly the firstborn. But he is to acknowledge the son of the unloved wife as the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he has. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. When a man has a wayward and rebellious son who is not listening to the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and who, when they have disciplined him, does not listen to them, then his father and mother shall take hold of him and bring him out to the elders of his city, to the gate of his city. And they shall say to the elders of this city, this son of ours is wayward and rebellious. He is not listening to our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the men of the city shall stone him to death with stones. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst, and let all Israel hear and fear. And when a man has committed a sin worthy of death, then he shall be put to death, and you shall hang him on a tree. Let his body not remain overnight on the tree, for you shall certainly bury him the same day. For he who is hanged is a curse to Elohim, so that you do not defile the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you as an inheritance. Isaiah 22 on page 429. The message concerning the valley of vision. What troubles you now, that you have all gone up to the housetops? You who were filled with turmoils, a noisy city, a city of revelry. Your slain are not slain with the sword, nor the dead in battle. All your rulers have fled together. Without a bow, they are taken captive. All who are found in you are bound together, who have fled from afar. Therefore I said, look away from me. Let me weep bitterly. Do not try to comfort me because of the ravaging of the daughter of my people. For it is a day of uproar and treading down and perplexity by the Master Yahweh of hosts in the valley of vision, breaking down a wall and crying to the mountain. And Eliam bored the quiver with chariots of men and horses, and Kir barred the shield. And it shall be that your choicest valleys shall be filled with chariots, and the horsemen shall take up positions at the gate. Then he removed the covering of Judah, and you looked in that day to the weapon of the house of the forest, and you saw the breaches of the city of David, that it was great, and you gathered together the waters of the lower pool, and you counted the houses of Jerusalem, and the houses you broke down to strengthen the wall. And then you dug a ditch between the two walls for the water of the old pool. But you have not looked to its maker, nor have you seen him who fashioned it long ago. And in that day the Master Yahweh of hosts calls for weeping and for mourning, for baldness and for girding with sackcloth. Then see joy and gladness, killing oxen and slaying sheep, eating meat, drinking wine. Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we die. And let us revel. And it was revealed in my hearing by Yahweh of hosts. For this crookedness shall not certainly not be pardoned until you die, said the Master Yahweh of hosts. Thus said the Master Yahweh of hosts, go, come to this steward, to Shiban, who is over the house, and say, what have you here, and whom have you here? What you have hewn, that you have hewn a burial site here. For he who hews himself a burial site on high, inscribing a dwelling place for himself in a rock. See, Yahweh is hurling you away, O man, and firmly grasping you, rolling you up tightly like a ball into a wide land. There you are to die, and there your steam chariots are to be the shame of your master's house. And I shall drive you from your office, and you shall be ousted from your position. And it shall be in that day that I shall call my servant Elohim, son of Hilkiah, Hiloquia. And I shall put your robes on him, and strengthen him with your girdle, and give your authority into his hand. And he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to the house of Judah. And I shall place the key of the house of David on his shoulder, and he shall open, and one shuts, and shall shut, and one and no one opens. And I shall fasten him like a peg in a steadfast place, and he shall become a throne of esteem to his father's house. And they shall hang on him all the weight of his father's house, the offspring and the offshoots, all the vessels of small quantity, from the cups to all the jars. In that day, declares Yahweh of hosts, the peg that is fastened to the steadfast place shall be removed and be cut down and fall, and the burden that was on it shall be cut off, for Yahweh has spoken. Psalms 10 on page 651. Land, why do you stand afar off, O Yahweh, hiding in times of distress? In arrogance the wrongdoer hotly pursues the poor. They are caught by the schemes which they devised. For the wrongdoer boasted of the cravings of his being, and the greedy one he has blessed. He has despised Yahweh. In the pride of his face, the wrongdoer seeks in the pride of his face, the wrongdoer does not seek him. In all his thoughts there is no Elohim. His ways are always prosperous. Your right rulings are on high, out of his sight. He snorts at all his adversaries. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved. From generation to generation, never be an evil pet. His mouth is filled with cursing and deceit and oppression. Under his tongue is troubled and wickedness. He sits in the hiding places of the villages. In the secret places he kills the innocent. Aid. They are hiding their eyes from the helpless. He lies in wait in a secret place, as a lion in his den. He lies in wait to catch the poor. He catches the poor, drawing him into his net, and he crouches, he lies low, and the helpless fall under his strength. He has said in his heart, El has forgotten. He has concealed his face, he shall never see. Kif. Arise, O Yahweh, O El, lift up your hand. Do not forget the lowly ones. They do the wrong. Why do the wrong? Scorn Elohim. He has said in his heart, it is not required. Resh, you have seen it, for you observe trouble and grief. To repay with your hand, the poor commits himself to you. You are the helper of the fatherless. Shin, break the arm of the wrong one and the evil one. Search out his wrongness, that would not be found out. Yahweh is sovereign forever and ever. The nation shall perish from his land. Taw. Yahweh, you have heard the desire of the lowly ones. You prepare his heart. You incline your ear to defend the followers and the downtrodden, so that the man who is of the earth no longer oppresses. Proverbs 11 on page 738. A false scale is an abomination to Yahweh, but a perfect weight is his delight. pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the straight ones guides them, but the slipperiness of the treacherous destroys them. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteous of the perfect makes his way straight, but by his own wrongness the wrong one falls. The righteousness of the straight ones delivers them, but the treacherous are caught by greed. When a wrong man dies, expectancy perishes, and the ambition of the wicked shall be lost. The righteous is delivered from distress, and the wrong one takes his place. The defiled one destroys his neighbor with his mouth, but the righteous is delivered by knowledge. When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices, and when the wrong perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the straight, the city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wrong, it is overthrown. He who lacks heart despises his neighbor, but a man of understanding keeps silence. A slanderer is a revealer of secrets, but one with trustworthy spirit conceals a matter. Without guidance the people fall, but in a great counselor there is safety. He who is a guarantor for a stranger suffers harm, but one who hates shaking hands in pledge is safe. A woman showing favor obtains esteem, but ruthless men obtain riches. A loving, committed man is rewarding his beam, but he who is cruel troubles his own flesh. The wrong one earns false wages, but the one sowing righteousness is true reward. Thus righteousness leads to life, and one pursuing evil to his own death. The perverse of heart are an abomination to Yahweh, but the perfect of the way are his delight. Hand to hand the evil one does not go unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall escape. Like a ring of gold in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who lacks good sense. The desire of the righteous is only good. The expectancy of the wrong is wrath. There is one who scatters yet increases more, and one who withholds more than is right, and it comes to poverty. The generous being is enriched, and he who waters is also watered himself. The people curse him who withholds grain, but blessing is on the head of him who sows it. He who earnestly seeks good seeks what is pleasing, but to him who seeks evil, it comes to him. He who trusts in his riches falls, but the righteous flourish like a leaf. He who troubles his own house inherits wind, and the fool is a servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who is winning lives is wise. See, the righteous in the earth shall be rewarded, but how much more the wrong and the sinner. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. On page 1118. But brothers, I make known to you the good news, which I brought as good news to you, which you also did receive, and in which you stand, though which also you are being saved, if you hold fast the word I brought as good news to you. Otherwise you have believed in vain. For I delivered to you at the first that which I also received, that Messiah died for our sins according to the Scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he was raised the third day according to the Scriptures, and that he was seen by Kepha, Simon Peter, then by the 12, and after that he was seen by over 500 brothers at one time, of whom the greater part remain till now. But some have fallen asleep. After that he was seen by James, After that he was seen by James, then by all the emissaries. And last of all he was seen by me also, as if to one born prematurely. For I am the last of the emissaries, who am I not worthy to be called an emissary, because I persecuted the assembly of Elohim. But by the favor of Elohim I am what I am, and his favor towards me was not in vain. But I labored much more than they all, yet not all I, but the favor blessing of Elohim with me. Whether then it was I or they, so we proclaimed, and so you believed. And if Messiah is proclaimed that he has been raised from the dead, how do some among you say that there is no resurrection of the dead? And if there is no resurrection of the dead, the Messiah has not been raised. And if Messiah has not been raised, then our proclaiming is empty, and your belief also empty. And we are also found false witnesses of Elohim, because we have witnessed to Elohim that he raised up Messiah, whom he did not raise up, if then the dead are not raised. For if the dead are not raised, then neither Messiah has been raised. And if Messiah has not been raised, your belief is for no purpose. You are still in your sins. Then also those who have fallen asleep in Messiah have perished. And if in this life only we have expectation in Messiah, we are all of men the most wretched. But now Messiah has been raised from the dead, and has become the first fruit of those having fallen asleep. For since death is through a man, resurrection of the dead is also through a man, capital M. For as all die in Adam, so also shall be made alive in Messiah. And each in his own order. Messiah the first fruits, then those who are of Messiah at his coming. Then the end, when he delivers up the reign to Elohim the Father, when he has brought to naught all rule and authority and power. Verse 25. For he has to reign until he has put all enemies under his feet. Psalms 110, verse 1. The last enemy to be brought to naught is death. For he has put all under his foot. Psalms 8 verse 6. And when he says all are put under him, it is clear that he who put all under him is expected. And when all made subject to him, then the Son of himself shall also be subject to him who put all under him, in order that Elohim be all in all. Otherwise, what shall they do who are immersed for the dead? If the dead are not raised at all, why indeed are they immersed from the dead? And why do we stand in danger every hour? I affirm by the boasting in you, which I have in Messiah Yeshua our Master. I die day by day. If, as men do, I have fought with beasts at Ephos, of what good is it to me if the dead are not raised? Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we die. Isaiah 22:13. Do not be led astray. Evil company corrupts good habits. Wake up to soberness righteously, and do not sin. For some do not have the knowledge of Elohim. I speak this to your shame. But someone might say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? Senseless one. What you sow is not made alive unless it dies. And as what you sow, you do not sow the body which is to be, but a bare grain. It might be wheat or some other grain. But Elohim gives it a body as he wishes, and to each seed a body of its own. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one flesh of men, and another flesh of beasts, and another of fishes, and another of birds, and there are heavenly bodies and earthly bodies, but the esteem of the heavenly is truly one, and the esteem of earthly is another. One esteem of the sun, and another esteem of the moon, another esteem of the stars, for stars differ from stars in esteem. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in corruption. It is sown in disrespect, it is raised in esteem. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There's a natural body and a spiritual body. And so it has been written, the first man, Adam, became a living being. Genesis 2, verse 7. And the last Adam, the last Adam, sorry, lost track there. The 45. And so it has been written, the first man, Adam, became a living being. Genesis 2, verse 7. The last Adam, a life-giving spirit. The spiritual, however, was not first, but the natural, and afterward the spirit. The first man was of the earth, earthly. The second man is the master from heaven. As in the earthly, so also are those who are earthy. And as in the heavenly, so also are those who are heavenly. And as we have borne the likeness of the earthly, we shall also bear the likeness of the heavenly. And I say brothers, that flesh and blood is unable to inherit the reign of Elohim, neither does corruption inherit incorruption. See, I speak a secret to you. We shall not all sleep, but shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet shall sound, and the trumpet shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible has to be put in corruption, and this moral to be put in morality. And when this corruptible has put on incorruption, and this moral has put on immorality, then shall come to be the word that was written. Death is swallowed up in overcoming. Isaiah 25:8. O death, where are you sitting? O Sheol, where is your overcoming? Hosea 13:14. The sting of death is the sin, and the power of the sin is the Torah. But thanks to Elohim, who gives us the overcoming through our Master Yeshua, Messiah. Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always excelling in the work of the Master, knowing that your labor is not in vain in the Master. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible. Talk to the Father.